welcome. For those that don't know who I am Deborah Franklin. I am an author, speaker, and most of all, I am the founder and CEO of Church Girl CEO. Y'all, I'm so excited about this Motivational Monday because, y'all, when I tell you, when God dropped this in my spirit, I was totally, did I say totally? Messed up. It is time. Today, I want to just talk to you about, I want you to sit back and I want you to think about, it is elevation time. So many of you have been operating and just doing what you know to do. You've been going out, you've been ministering, you've been talking, you've been just doing everything, and you're wondering why you're not getting that breakthrough. You're wondering why you're not going to that next level. You're wondering why it's not happening to you, but it seems like it's happening to everybody else. And you know what the problem is? You have not looked in the mirror, or you've looked in it and you have not seen who you really are. And I know that sounds a little weird to be talking about, oh, this motivational moment. You trying to tell me I don't see me? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you because I experienced this myself. It's like you look in the mirror, you see that old you see that you that helped everybody else out. You see that old you that did everything. How many of you have ever read the book, or saw the movie The Help? That were talking about the maids that were in the South, how they raised all the children, everybody's children, and probably neglected their own, and how they were speak life into these other people, but they were always the servant. They never had to make those decisions, but when they did, things changed. When they start to see themselves as more than the help, they start to see things change. When they started to see themselves as the leader and not the follower, when they started to see themselves on big stages that you want to be on, writing those books that you want to write, getting that job that you want to write, getting that elevation that you want. But the thing is, you got to see it in order to be it. You have got to start seeing yourself in these different places, and you have got to start seeing yourself walking on that red carpet if that is your desire. Start to see it, start to visualize it, and then you got to change who you're with, because a lot of times you got to start hanging out with leaders. You're not like Michelle. I always mess his name up. Michelle Beth. I miss. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Because the thing is that he didn't know he belonged at the table. He didn't know. There's a difference in not knowing and knowing that you belong there. I'm here to tell you today that you belong at the table. You have gotten the crumbs too long. You have served the soup too long. You have set the table too long. Now it's time for you to sit at the table and know that you deserve the seat at the table. And it's like, and I'm not saying for material things that you need to be at that table, but it's a mindset shift change. Your luxury car might not be a Maserati. It might not be y'all know I'm not even big on cars. Yours might be getting a Toyota Camry, might be driving a Lexus, might be driving a Mercedes or a BMW. That might be what you call luxury. But the thing is, you have got to start seeing yourself in that luxury status, because when you start to see it, you'll start to be it. I don't know how many times to tell you. Today, I want to encourage you to start seeing yourself where you want to go, seeing yourself at the finish line, seeing yourself in those crowds, seeing yourself. Start practicing your acceptance speech. Start practicing your autograph. Start practicing how you gonna write that check, be able to write that check for $1 million. Start practicing, because see, you know what? If you're already used to it, when you do have it, you won't be shaking to do it. Start practicing those things and start believing in yourself to be who God has truly called you to be. Because guys, it is your time, it's your season. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, but you have got to realize it, that it is for you. You were granted this time to show up and show out, because God has not given us a spirit of fear. God has given us the spirit of a sound mind. God has given us the ability to drop down, to download what you need when you need it. Because another thing is that some of y'all are not being able to see it because you have not sat quiet enough to hear and sat quiet enough to see where God is trying to take you. You're misinterpreting things. Stop seeing yourself as the servant Start seeing yourself as the leader. You are no longer the help. You are no longer the help. Build your confidence up. And if you want to start the business, start the business. If you want, I don't care if you want to start a candy company, start it. Because somebody is waiting for you to do that candy. Somebody is waiting for you to write that book. Somebody is waiting for you to speak that word into their life. Somebody is waiting for you, but you have got to start seeing it so you can believe it, so you can start doing it, because it's time for you to do what? It is time for you to elevate. And that's all I wanted to tell you today, is that you are no longer the help. And just know y'all gonna hear some more about this, because that thing messed me up. You are no longer the help. And the thing is, okay, so let me just go ahead and break it down for you again. You have all this education, you have all this title, you have all this experience, but you don't ever use it. You hide away with the servants. You hide away because you don't want anybody to know how smart you are. You hide away because you don't want anybody to know what you really can do, because you're okay with just serving it up. It's not okay, because it's time for you to be used. Yeah, I said it. It's time for you to make that step, make that stance. It's time for you to show up, show out, and do what God has truly called you to do. Because I promise you, it's not easy. Is it scary? Absolutely. Am I doing the things that I'm doing because I know all the answers? No. Let me just have a real transparent moment. Let get do you see me? I am a strong believer that when God shows me something, I operate on it. I activate it. I never know how God is going to do it. All I know is that I'm doing what God tells me to do. How many of you can truly say your faith is at that level? Because that's where we are. It's a faith activation time. Because elevation comes with activating your faith. Elevation comes with activating what's in you so it can come out and help someone else. It's time for you to activate. It's time for you to show up like never before. Y'all, when I started Church Girl CEO, I didn't have a clue. No, let's go all the way back. When I started Hats and Heels, when we were doing Hats and Heels, I was like, okay, because look, this is what the Lord told me to do. This is what we're going to do. Then I didn't know that Hats and Heels was going to evolve, literally evolve into what we now have, Church Girl CEO. I never in a million years, I said I wanted to be in missions. I remember when I first accepted my call, I looked at it, and then, I looked at the discipline, because I'm AME. I looked at the discipline. It said to be, and I really just wanted to do missions. But then when I started going through the coursework, I'm like, the coursework looks the same. So I might as well go ahead and go to preaching track. I wanted to do missions, but I didn't have a clue about doing missions. I'm being real serious. I didn't have a clue. And all I know is that I had to do what God told me to do. And so now, not only has and now and this is not bragging, because we still don't have it all together. I'm just transparent moment. But we're doing what God has called us to do. And God, when we started putting Church Girl CEO together, God said it's going to be built on two levels. You're going to be doing education. That means educating women on how to build their businesses on biblical principles. And then number two, you're going to be doing missions. Who does that? Who builds a business like that? But that's what we did. And when I tell you, God has blessed us. Even when we had problems last year on missions, the mission didn't get stopped. I might have gotten stopped, but the mission didn't get stopped. This year, we thought we had 2 orphanages. I just got the email today that we got 3 orphanages that we're going to be working with when we get to Nairobi. Yeah, I said it, 3. Not my plan. Then I posted something and somebody inboxed me and said, "Hey, I got this going on in Kenya. Can you think we ought to partner up?" I don't know them, but we've talked. I've actually got invitations for while we are there to do different things. This is what happens when you truly trust God with what you're doing and you're waiting on His flow. You're operating in His flow. You're operating in what God tells you to do. Because when it's elevation time, it doesn't matter what it looks like around you. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to do it. You just look, all you can do is say, okay, God, you told me to do this. I'm doing it. And where there is vision, there is provision. And I'm saying all this to say is that you got it, but you just got to do it. And another thing with Church Girl CEO, y'all, I never imagined that it would grow and do and be so much in less than 2 years. Yes, I said it, less than 2 years. Yes, I had the visibility for doing conversations with Deborah Franklin. Yes, I had the visibility for Deborah when I was on the T, which was an online book review show. Yes, I had visibility for showing up with different projects and doing different things. But I never thought that Church Girl CEO would be what it is today. And now we are spreading. And now God is having us to go into the hedges and the byways. Y'all, that's scripture. And we are going to be ministering to the people because we are going to represent what God has given us. What has God given you that it's time for you to step out and represent? It is time for you to show up and be truly who God has called you to be. It is time for you to make that mark. It is time for you to do it all. Because I'm trying to tell you, we are getting ready to go higher and higher. Y'all, we're having our first gala and fundraiser this year. Do you hear me? Gala and fundraiser. Who would have ever thought? We talking Church Girl CEO. We're not connected with someone's like, well, what nonprofit are you connected to? What church are you to? Yes, I'm covered. I'm not saying that I'm going out of here and I'm not covered. Yes, my pastor knows what I'm doing. But for those that understand, I'm not connected that way because God told me to do it a different way. And that's not being and trust me, I would not be going if I wasn't covered. And so that's what we have to look at. What is God showing you to do? And it doesn't make sense. And it's got you and you are in fear of it. I want you to step out, have that Peter moment and start it and do what God has truly called you to do. And guys, if you're watching the replay, make sure that you tell me that you drop replay. Tell me where you're from when you see this, because I want to know, what are you doing? What are you working on? How are you getting ready to go even further? Well, all right, guys, if nothing else, I want you to remember it's time for you to elevate. You are no longer the help. Have a great one. Peace.